Am I the A for ratting out my assistant/colleague and getting her fired to save my own job? I know how it sounds, but please read before you judge. I've worked at my current employer for 3 years. Last year, March 2020, I received a promotion to project manager. In the beginning, everything went well. But in the last month, I've been getting more and more negative feedback. I did not understand what was going on, or why people were becoming so negative toward me. I was losing clients, and several colleagues were really upset with me. I was at a loss. I started talking to my manager and my department head about following courses, getting monthly feedback to perform better. I just wanted to live up to the promotion I received. I felt like I was failing. Then a friend/colleague of mine came to me angry and demanded that I apologize for what I said. I was really confused and asked her why she was so upset with me. She explained she received an email where I was basically blaming her for the issues that I was dealing with. This was an email a client forwarded her. I was at a loss and explained I never sent out an email like that, and if she could show me. She did, and it had my name, my send address, and everything seemed like it was from me, but I never sent it. Then it clicked with me. My assistant has access to my email and has the ability to send as me. She's also the only one that has these rights. I was flabbergasted, and so much started to make sense. She was next in line for my job and did not receive the promotion. I did. I checked all her sent mail on her PC while she was out for lunch and saw dozens of emails sent as if it was from me. An email, still open on her screen, showed my email address in a written message to clients with misinformation, passive aggressiveness, and straight-up lies. These were sent out under my name. I made screenshots and sent them to myself, then went to my manager and the head of the department. They were ticked. She was fired that same day. I was relieved and all my colleagues were informed. I thought I was completely in the right here, but some people at work are complaining that I violated company policy for snooping on her PC and violating her privacy. My boss and direct colleagues have my back, but the people that knew her, she had worked there since 2011, and I've only been here since 2018, say I went too far. Apparently, she's a single mother with 2 kids and needed this job. I also need this job, and she was more than willing to sacrifice me for her benefit. I don't see how I could be in the wrong for defending myself. Maybe I'm just too close to the situation to see it? Did I go too far by going on her PC? Not the A. She was trying to screw over your career through lies and deceptions, and you caught her, and she received the correct punishment for her actions. Also, it wasn't her PC. It was the company's computer, so specifically not a PC, personal computer. Many companies have the authority for a manager, supervisor, or superior of some form to access the company equipment if needed. You accessed her work accounts, which ended up being your own account. She was angering clients and your coworkers. Everyone who was mad at you should have been mad at her. If you're in America, you should understand you have absolutely no privacy on your work computer or phone. I can view, read, etc. every single thing an employee does on their work-issued computing devices, and I can easily be required to do so, for example, to settle allegations of harassment. If you don't like that, don't log in, view, read, etc. anything you don't want anyone in your management chain to see on your work devices. Keep personal emails solely on your personal devices. Not the A. And you didn't go snoop through her personal computer. It was work property. I can't tell you the amount of times HR had gone and sifted through people's emails at my job in order to corroborate a story. If you don't want to get caught, don't commit the act. You'll be surprised on how many don't follow that. Working IT anywhere, you end up with all sorts of personal info about your coworkers that you didn't want. So many people are just dumb and use their work computers for personal crap. You end up learning who is sleeping with who is having affairs, who has weird fetishes, all sorts of shopping info, social media access, and so much more, just because people do it on work devices that, more often than not, have been set up for the internal IT to safely access the machine from wherever. And that's before we get into inappropriate usage of work email addresses and other issues. Edit to add, like 99% of the time when fixing virus problems, it is because of these behaviors. Yeah. I'm not opening that sketchy email attachment on my home computer. I'm saving that crap for my work computer. I'm 99% sure it's a virus. But my curiosity always wins out. My stupidity keeps an entire IT department employed. My husband thanks you for his employment. He had to tell one of the higher-ups in his company to stop hiring escorts from his work computer because he didn't want to have to testify at his eventual divorce proceedings. He had to tell another to stop surfing adult video websites on company equipment and company time. He refused to handle certain people's laptops without gloves because he had seen too many things they were doing on the network. A few years ago, a large number of members of the French Interior Ministry were caught by a virus claiming to be a naked picture of the First Lady, Carla Bruni. Info: what is the privacy policy of the company? If it is work equipment owned by the company, I don't think you can have any expectation for privacy. Also, she's your assistant and has the ability to send emails as you, so you have the right to look at anything she's sending on your behalf. And it seems like you did it just in time. If she has the brass to send out emails full of lies as you, then she has to accept the consequences. Honestly, I wasn't completely aware of what the privacy policy entailed, so I spoke to our HR department. They state, and I'm paraphrasing here, that in no circumstances are you allowed to go onto someone else's account and use their data, as some people have very sensitive data. They said they made an exception for me in this case, because number one, I was her supervisor, and number two, she was causing damage to not only me, but to the company as a whole with her behavior. I still got a warning for doing it, just not any real punishment. Maybe your company needs to change their proxy email system. My team can proxy on each other's emails only when granted for a set time. Like I'm off for 3 weeks, so emails can be accessed by the team when I've flipped the switch to go. Then any email sent by my proxy clearly says, sent by John Doe on behalf of Jane Smith. Any email they send on behalf of me is also sent to me during this time as well. Your company's system terrifies me, but you are not the A, and people playing the single mom card? Crappy life circumstances does not enable someone to be a shizhead. Not the A. She got what she deserved. Who cares she worked there longer and is a single mother of 2? If she so needs the job, then she should have taken into account possible scenarios her actions would lead to. This was one of them. Why should people pity someone for the situations they themselves put themselves into? Exactly. I don't see how any of this is OP's fault. Even if she'd gone through proper channels, the results would be the same. And work computers aren't private anyways. OP didn't throw someone under the bus to not get fired. They literally just found the culprit of the fireable offenses who suffered the consequences of their own actions. The fact that they specifically tried to sabotage OP to steal their job is beyond reprehensible. OP didn't blame someone else for their own failings or use them to distract from their own offenses. I can't understand how anyone would pity that woman who tried to destroy someone's career out of jealousy and greed. Not the A. Is sending fraudulent emails under someone else's name to ruin their career not against company policies? It's not your fault she was fired, it's hers. Maybe you should have gone to HR first instead of snooping, but then she could have potentially deleted evidence. And if not, the outcome would be the same, her being fired. Her actions were far worse than the snooping, evidently as your company fired her and not you. So people clinging to that are being ridiculous and just want you to be the villain. She's a single mom with 2 kids, she needs a job. Like, okay, then maybe she should have considered that before being a crappy person?